welcome to the Purpose Talks with Lourdes Anita. I am Lourdes Anita, writer over at LourdesAnita.com, and I am so grateful that you are here. We're talking to people about pursuing their God-given purposes and eliminating distractions that try to get in the way. And y'all want to talk about distractions? 2020 was the biggest distraction, but we made it through the pandemic and we are here, and I'm so grateful to be back. And today we have a very special guest with us on the new gold couch.
Boom! Guess who stepped in the room? Okay?
What's going on? This is my
At the Purpose Talks today.
Honey, the Purpose Talks. This is my guest, Pastor Genevieve Smith, also known as G, and she's here just to talk about all the wonderful things that she's doing. She's a business owner, she's a minister, just all around dynamic. So let's see if we can get some tips about purpose from her. Genevieve.
What's up, girl?
Welcome.
You're looking lovely.
Honey, this
You know what I'm saying?
bouncy skirt.
You know what I'm
Love
saying?
it. You
Thank
are
you, Rose.
here.
I had to come grace the gold couch.
Thank you. Come
Join
us on the couch.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's
Absolutely.
so lovely here. Oh my gosh. As soon as I walked in, it had the right vibe. I was like, you know what? I'm in the right place.
The Holy
The
Spirit
right
is
time.
here.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is here.
100%.
You are here. So
100%.
tell us about you. Who is Genevieve Smith in a nutshell?
Okay, fine. So, Genevieve Smith, my friends call me G. I am from Bed-Stuy. That's really how I like to tell you. To a die, duck a dodge. You already know what time it is. But look, you know what I'm saying? I want to also tell you, I'm from Bed-Stuy, but I'm from Flora. I'm from Harold's. You know, my daddy's from Georgetown, Guyana. My mom is from North Carolina. And, you know, I'm from Brandy. My big sister, Brandy, helped raise me. You know, I'm from Susan, or I call her Mama Sue. She's like an aunt mom, and she taught me a lot about who God is too. And so many, I have a list of other women. I'm from a lot of places, if that makes sense. Or I'm from a strong community of people, and especially a strong community of women.
Absolutely. And you feel like they have instilled that in you.
Yeah, like that's just like, yeah, I'm like, I have to, you know, honor them, because this is like a lot of what you see. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there too.
Absolutely.
But yes,
we give honor to the places that the people who have shaped us and where they are, because as we're talking about purpose, like I've heard people say like nothing is ever wasted, like God wastes nothing. So the family that you're born into, the people that pour into you, like that absolutely is shaping who you are.
That's right. That's right. So I just wanted to, you know, make sure to honor them too and throw that in there.
We honor them.
Yes.
So now, talking about like things that you're doing in the world, like you have been a minister for a really long time. How did you get involved in ministry?
Oh Lord, it got involved with me. That's how. Okay.
Because God will be like, you'll be over here, and He'll be like, no, friend.
Yeah. Let me real quick. Let me come here. Let me talk to you real quick. So that's kind of like how, let me talk to you real quick. So I was, we grew up here, like I told you, when we were younger. My mom, she was, you know, abusing drugs. It was really hard living here. We were very poor. There's just a lot of poverty. A lot of our friends were poor, everybody here. And also, you know, that's when what we now know as the crack epidemic, which is that they were like pushing drugs into these neighborhoods, into low-income neighborhoods. And all of these big urban centers were affected so bad. And Bed-Stuy was one of them. Brooklyn was one of them. And it really wreaked havoc on my family life. So growing up here was really tough, and growing up under the circumstances. At the time, my dad was in and out. It was very hard. But when we were about 11 or 12, my mom had this encounter with an angel. And I could tell you the whole story, but I will tell it to you some other time. It's an incredible story, but essentially my mom has this encounter and I think has this encounter with God and is like, I don't want to live this life anymore now that I know this.
Yeah.
And so her whole life completely transformed, and I'm watching her life completely be different than what it was. And now I'm like, okay, whatever that is, that gotta be real. So like, you know what I mean? It was more like nobody ever had to convince me about Jesus. Nobody ever had to tell me to believe or make me. I didn't grow up, nobody made me do it or anything. It was definitely very much so my own, like observing what God has done. And then we started going to this church, and I was like, yo, that gotta be real, because there's no way to explain, you know, if a person's struggling with addiction and then completely transforms like this, and they say no other intervention is happening except for the Lord. And we weren't even going to church at the time. So that had to be God.
She had this encounter
and then
completely
changed. And, you know, of course it wasn't process change, you know, that's work towards that change, but it was a complete change. She was actually 16 years sober when she passed. Wow. Never went back, never turned back to any of the things that she used. And she also was like, I don't even know how to tell you about my mom, Flora. Oh my God. Like, she was maybe like a lot like me, just a huge personality. Was the person would sit next to the person who was maybe didn't have the right clothes or not the right things or whatever, came to church that day, and she went right here in Bed-Stuy. Right here in Bed-Stuy and John Wesley, and she would sit right next to them and grab them up and hold them, and, you know, like, just like, oh, okay, baby, I'm glad you came today, you know, even when other people might be like, ooh, I don't know, or that person, you know, whatever. So I really appreciate the way she did ministry, and she's a huge part of why I do and how I do what I'm doing today. So
absolutely. I think, and what I want to stamp out as we're talking about finding your purpose and discovering it, like, you, in every point, like, you're just honoring the people that got you to where you are. Like, and not even like in talking about yourself. It's like, who are you? Oh, I'm these people that raised me. How did you get involved in ministry? I'm this person who inspired me. And that absolutely is a part of our story. Like, we have to remember the things that have shaped us and brought us to where we are. And even in finding those experiences, it helps you discover, what is my purpose? Oh, well, this woman who raised me, she was the kind of person that sat next to the outcast. Yeah. So a part of my purpose now, the way that I minister.
100%, huge part of it. My mom, you know, I was first in my family to go to college. Which is like, whoo, praise the Lord. But my mom wasn't far after me. You know, she went back to school, and, you know, like, she went after 50 and went and got her seminary degree and became a licensed local pastor there in North Carolina. And I just think about that all the time, like how much it takes for you to, you know, go do something that is so difficult and to learn all these new things when you're at an older age and you've only had a high school education so far, and just all the challenges. And I'm watching her at the table, you know, writing in her books and trying to figure out what these people are, you know, and I think about that, and I think about how she must have really had some incredible encounter with God, that she wanted nothing more than to make sure everybody else knew about him too. Like, everybody gotta know, and then that's it. As long as you know what I'm saying, that he's real. As long as you know that he is God all by himself. As long as you know Jesus Christ we talking about, okay? Okay, you know what I'm saying? As long as you know. And so that's kind of how she lived her life. So it's to me, I feel like I'm just honored that I've been able to live life with the people that kind of got me here.
Absolutely. And you were able to turn around and inspire the person that inspired you to do something.
Oh my gosh, right? maybe just a little bit. Un poquito.
Okay, come on, it's full circle.
Yeah, praise God. Wow, I'm not even paying attention to that, but yeah. Praise God. Listen, you know, I mean, I know it, you know, but I don't think of myself that, you know, that I'm doing that. But yeah, okay, praise God. Yeah.
It's all about drawing that line and figuring out, like, where we fit in and how our purpose, it can, you know, impact even the people who have shaped us.
That's right.
Get to turn around and pour those gifts into others.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
We talk about gifts here.
Okay.
Not only is she a minister of the word, she's a minister of the Mac.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
She's
New name alert.
Listen,
New
new
name
name
alert.
alert. Minister of
The Mac,
honey.
beloved. Talk to me nice.
Okay. No.
Okay, so
I need this mac and cheese to talk to me nice.
the Mac's gonna talk to you so nice.
Yeah.
Because you know what that Mac was made with? Love. That really is the ingredient. That really is the ingredient. Yeah. I mean, it's really good mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying?
I need
you definitely,
this
yeah.
Cheese
Yeah, because you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's take it sweating out the thing. You might want to take and give them a little.
Give them a little.
Yeah, just a little. Can you get into that? Can y'all get into that? You know what I'm saying? Right here, it's crusted all at the top. Y'all know how it gotta be.
That looks like love.
You know, it's love in there.
It smells, y'all.
I'm telling you, it's
as Tabitha Brown would say, very good, honey. Very good. It smells very good.
Oh, yes. Thank you, boo.
But how did you get involved in making that?
Okay, so my mom, my sister, and my dad, they all love to cook, but my mom and my sisters, who I've been in the house with all the time, watching them cook, and my mom made the best mac and cheese. My sister made me want to make mac and cheese because she would just make it all so good every time. And every time I, you know, like trying to come in there, watch what she's doing, she would do little things to it, new things to it and stuff like that. And so she just inspired me to want to make mac for my friends and all that. So I had been making mac here in Brooklyn for a year, like with friends and people, engagement parties and whatever, y'all. I was like, yeah, I'll show you up with the mac. And people was like, gee, like, can we pay you? And I was like, nah, you know, it's cool. Like, I'm here to make you, you know what I'm saying, some mac. I want you to feel that love. Yeah. Like, that's really the purpose of it. Is I want you to feel that. That's one of the purpose. I want you to feel that love. So I was like, yeah, it's no problem. But then a friend told me one day, like, yo, why you don't sell that? Like, you don't, like, do something with it. And I said, yeah, I've been actually kind of, like, playing with a daydream about it, but I don't know. And they just wouldn't leave me alone about it. And I think it's, like, them and the people along the way that have all like spoken into me at different times that really led me to like, yo, gee, let's make this a thing because we like it a lot and we like what people feel when you get it a lot. Like I feel like when you get good mac and cheese, you feel like, I don't know, you feel like you at home, right? You feel like you're at home. Mm-hmm. And I think mac and cheese is a good setup for community. Mm. Like I just love when everybody gathers around to eat something good. So those things is like home, community. Those are the themes I'm going for with what I'm trying to purpose through my Mac. I want this to be a thing that brings people together. I want this to be a thing that makes people feel loved and comforted that day.
So absolutely. So let's talk to the person who has multiple giftings. Because I'm hearing like you participate in ministry. You also make wonderful mac and cheese. How are you able to marry those two things together and feel like I can use both gifts? Like how does ministry and Mac go together?
Okay. So for that, I would say, to me, they seem like they seamlessly go together, like easily. Because I get to be with people. Like when they come order their Mac, so right now I cater it from my home. So if you want to get some Mac, you know what I'm saying, you won't have to pull up or I can deliver it to you, right? So in that time, like while I'm making the Mac, I'm praying over the pasta. I'm making, and it's such a vibe in my kitchen. You don't even know the playlist is lit. I'm in there, me and God just in there vibing about how wonderful you are and just asking God, like, is there anything that you could have me do to bless this person? Or is there anything that you want to do to me? Was there anything for me to receive? So just remembering we're always on the giving and the receiving side of from as far as like a word from God or, what he wants to facilitate in our lives is always on this side, okay? So, and that's an important lesson I had to learn because if you do ministry, you can convince yourself that you just the one who's giving and it's both ways. So I feel like that. I feel like this sets up like just this beautiful moment where even if the customer, I'm not very familiar with and they don't know that, because on my phone, when you go to click to like place an order, I ask you like, could I pray for you? What would you like prayer for? Yeah. So I ask you about your day. I mean that sincerely. Like these are just things I'm going to do because if I was talking to you. So to me, I feel like let's let Mac be that space too and let that be kind of like Mac is his own ministry. I don't know. Like, or I'm making a Mac ministry, if that makes sense. And it won't be, mac.and.gees itself won't be just, you won't be able to look it up like Christian business or something, but his owner is, and you know what I mean? And that's going to be the feeling, the vibe of that is going to be a part of this. And so I don't know. I see it working in that way. I see it as, I'm using skills that I've grown inside of ministry, using skills that, of building relationships, because that's what I've done with students over the years. Majority of the students I've supported are from the housing projects here in Brooklyn. And so that means these are really, I guess, they've been through so much. So they're just overwhelmed by life circumstances. They have so much trauma. They have a lot of need. And I can relate because I'm exactly from that same, a lot of their stories are a lot like mine growing up here. So to me, I feel like but it still is a place where I had to learn their own, what plagues them, what hurts them, what affects them, and finding a way to connect in that space. How could these are the needs, like what could I provide? Well, I got Jesus, and that's about the best thing I'm gonna provide. But what are some other tangible things I can do too? That's like comes from there. Like, is it need for food? Because I could go get something. I could be right back. Is it, things like along the way, I've identified a lot of things we could support with, you know what I'm saying, and have done. And so I think about Mac that way. I think about it like it's taught me how to, okay, there's a lot going on in the world right now. Did you see they killing us? They're killing us, Lourdes. So just, it's just a lot going on all the time and we don't know what we could do. But here's a meal. Here's like just a thing. It's not much in the scheme of things, but it can be a lot. Yeah. It can make a difference in someone's life. You showed up that day, you gave them a meal, or if you showed up that day, you gave them yourself. It can make a huge impact. And so anyways, I think about it like that. I think some of like what I've learned through doing ministry sets me up to do this better. Absolutely. I just like something that you said of like, what tangible gifts can I do? Like, we are tangibly ministering to people in COVID, in Black Lives Matter and police brutality, and then all the crazy stuff that is the world right now. Like, what tangibly can I do? Like, it can feel like completely overwhelming, or like, what do I have? I don't have anything. I don't have any skills. I can't do anything, but I can make you some Mac. I can bless you in that way. Like, I can sit and I can show up. And and I can listen. You can eat your Mac and tell me what happened. Like I can listen. Yeah. I can pray for you because you know what I mean. The prayers of the righteous, they avail as much. And I'm saying, I believe in the power of prayer. I really believe in the power of prayer. So I could definitely pray for you, and I can be here. I probably could do some other things if we figure out. But there's just always something we can do. That's kind of the point. And I'm just trying to make myself available. Like, okay, God, I'm here. I'm a vessel. How you want to use me? You know what I'm saying? I made myself available to you. Listen, so I'll make my own song. You heard me? I'm going to make a song. It sounded like you was about to bust a rap. I could have rapped. You know what I'm saying? Singer-songwriter, but nobody sung. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But shout out to Amanda Davis, you know what I'm saying? If you our friend who really is. 16, no, 16 bars, you can hit it. This is your moment. Like, no. Because people tell me I sing like Naomi Rain, but I just don't even want to like talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Naomi. I also love you too, baby, because that's my boo. What other singer I'm about to shout out right now? Come on to keep going. Who else I love and know? James Tutson, shout out to you. You know I love your voice too. Okay, I gotta stop. No. We done. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We done. If you want me to rap later though, let me know. Cool, gotcha. Yes, so you said you are available. Lord, use me. What do you feel like he has purposed you to do? Oh, beloved. So many things, beloved. So many things, but I do see this like this. It's a dream. It's a vision of what I want mac.and.gees to be. And it's probably the fruit of a lot of the things I already shared with you tonight, and the fruit of the Spirit of God and his work in my life. I see it come together in mac.and.gees. And I got to tell you, I'm really inspired by this guy. His name's Father Gregory Boyle. You know what I'm saying? He a Jesuit priest who makes me want to join the brotherhood, but they don't let sisters in the brotherhood or something like that. I don't know. You know, my checking was in my savings. Who knows? But Father Gregory Boyle is incredible. He really is. He started this, he started ministering to in LA. And the place where his church was also known as like one of the largest death per capita. Like he lived through some of the bloodiest summers with a lot of that due to gang violence in that place over there in LA. And so he started this mission, I don't know, several decades ago. And it's called Homeboy Industries and is now the largest rehabilitation and workplace for people who were formerly incarcerated, formerly gang affiliated, maybe formerly homeless. He uses the space to rehabilitate them, and he also gets them jobs and opportunities in this space. So that, like, you know, they started with like Homeboy Cafe and a few other things. And he's so wonderful because I read his book. I read 2 of his books, you know what I'm saying? Really good. But Tattoos on the Heart really touched me. And it's about like, what would we do if we had boundless compassion? What would we do if like compassion had no limit? And this is just, I mean, he's just teaching with Christ teaching, but he's like doing it in a dope way though. Yeah. So it's like, it's so good. I liked a lot of his stuff and the way he talks about the other. Like we create community with the other, so we bring them in till there is no other. There's just us. Yeah. There's just us. So I kind of want mac.and.gees to facilitate that. I want this business, because I call it a love hustle. So I don't even know if but it's technically gonna be a real business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it technically is a real business, but I'm building. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You are a businesswoman. It's a business.
And like when I think about that, I think about what do I want to build? Like, what do you think out of all the things that God has shown me along the way? Like, what does he want? And I've seen all these different works. I've participated in meaningful work, right, in the city and seeing people do these. And I want it to be about community. I want it to be about compassion. I want, like when Jesus, the story when Jesus feeds the 5,000, he said, you know what I'm saying? Really, he was trying to get out the way. I was like, get up, came to this place and then everybody was there. And then he said, he looked out on the crowds and he had compassion on them. Yeah. So, you know, then the event happens where 5 loaves and 2 fish, you know, had a little bit of lunch and then all of a sudden a whole lot of lunch. You know what I'm saying? God performs this incredible miracle. Oh, and this is the second part of it. That not me creating, but we creating. So God has this he could have just did it himself. I always think about that. He could have just broke the bread mad times, gave it out to everybody. You're God. He could have just like did this thing where you do this. And I don't know. I feel like how magic goes. And then you like send it out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He could have really just did anything as his powers, you know, I mean, he's God, but he's in human form, he's God. So it's like he has the disciples come break it and pass it out too. And I always think about that. Why did Jesus do that? I think he wanted them to know like that we have the power, you know what I'm saying, to do that. That he's, because of his death, resurrection, you know what I'm saying? He has all the power. Now we have the Holy Spirit. We have so much. He's imparted so much of his Spirit. We have authority in Christ. So we have the ability to do this too. So it's not like, so it's kind of like, I think Jesus wanted them to know, like, you could get in on this. Like, as far as like feeding people, making them feel, you know, meeting their need, helping them meet their need. Rather, because you can't meet their need, but helping them get their needs met, and making them feel at home. You eat a meal, I think you feel at home. That's something we could do. We could do that together. So I think it's something like that. I every time I dream about it, it's something like creating opportunities for people in the community who wouldn't have an opportunity and showing them that they can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's going to be like what you'll see a lot of in the business as it's growing and building. But it's a lot of what you got going right now too. Like right now, my friends, my homegirls, you and other people are supporting my business, and that just makes me like feel amazing. That is like breaking the bread and sending it on in some way to me. That feels like feeding the 5,000, and I cannot wait. One day we're gonna feed 5,000 total people with this Mac. But beyond that, like I think like what they got fed that day, they got fed what they needed, but they were in the presence of God. They were fed what they really truly needed that day, and I think that's what's incredible. I want this to be a place where miracles happen too, where we all of a sudden. We're watching God. We thought we was making Mac, and all of a sudden we watching God. I want the people who affiliate with this with me, to kind of be on edge of their seat, anticipating, almost expecting God, because that's the type of time I'm on. And I'm talking about that's in and outside of mac.and.gees. Yeah. As on every level, I really am almost like, ooh, I know he's just about to, I just want to be a part. Wherever he's at, like leaning in. So I feel like this is going to create that kind of, I want that kind of energy around mac.and.gees. And I think people can expect that kind of energy when they come in.
Yeah.
I imagine it one day as a store, and because I want to, get a food truck first, then a store, and my own like little storefront. And I always imagine that like people come in there and they just sense that something's different. Even if they don't know the owner is a believer, even if they don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, yo, something about it. Like every time I'm here, it just feels like home. It just feels like it's right. So I'm hoping to do something like that.
I love hearing you talk about this, but like hearing you express like just how the gifting that you have is replicating the miracle that Jesus did. Like I don't think that we think about that every day, where Jesus said like greater works than these will you do.
Come on now, tell him what he said.
That's what he said. That's what that man said in
tell
the book.
Tell him what he said. Why does he say that? That is mind blowing to me.
Mind blowing. Even in your making mac and cheese and aspiring to feed thousands of people, that's replicating that miracle that Jesus did, and like having those greater works just played out in the world. So that is awesome to me. Like what I hear you saying about like what your purpose actually is like your purpose is to become more like Jesus. And that's my
purpose. Hey, there we go. That is a good one to go with. I like that one because that one I could affiliate with for sure. That one resonated. Ooh, it touched right down there.
It hit you.
That one, that's the one.
It hit you right on in there.
That's the one.
And I think that's all of our purpose, really.
Yeah.
Like whether that is I'm a minister and I'm serving. I'm a business owner and I make mac and cheese, or I'm a podcaster, or I'm a teacher, or I'm a nurse, whatever it is. My ultimate purpose within that is to become more like Jesus and to do the greater works that he said that we are here to do. And
sometimes them greater works ain't that great. People forget. Forget that. And sometimes it just like sometimes you just swept the floor and you just. I like this guy's brother Lawrence. His book is Practice the Presence of God. I read it a while ago. And anyway, he just was washing the dishes inside of this comment. He's just, but he's like all day communing with God. We could do that in any role or space. Now, it's hard to do, so it's not as easy as that. But I'm just saying that like we think about things on this continuum of like insignificant, so very significant. And we have so many guesses about what that is. But the truth is, you don't know the ripple effects of your one thing, of your one mac and cheese, of that one smile you gave, of that one encouraging word you said, of that one, prayer you prayed, one hug, one whatever. You don't know the ripple effects of it. So, but I believe that they make so many ripple effects that you want to take that chance. You just want to do it anyway. So anyway, I love that. I love what you said, and I'll take it. That's my purpose. I'll take it.
So we've discovered the purpose here. What do you feel like gets in the way of that? Like, what's a big distraction of that keeps us from like
so
really
many,
living out?
so many distractions. I will say that something I see show up a lot to distract me is a self-limiting thoughts, like just believing I can't, like, and somehow just believing there's no way I can do this thing. Like, I had a pop-up shop recently, not too long ago, rather. Not that recent, but not too long ago. And this incredible opportunity, it really rolled itself out to me. Like, at this other restaurant, it's Black owned. So I'm like, okay, and then something just came over me like, there's no way you can do that. You've been catering out of your home. And, of course you could do that. You can make macs for people and they come pick it up or you send it. But doing a whole event, it took 12 pans of mac. So imagine one kitchen in Brooklyn. And by the way, small kitchen in Brooklyn, making 12 macs with purpose and all different types like shrimps and lobster and buffalo chicken and all types of specialty macs. And you're trying to keep them all at the right temperature and then travel with them. It was fair too to say like that's a big task.
Yes.
But also something in there was like you can't do it, and it wasn't just because a big task. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something like a wrong voice can show up and try to tell you who you are, what you can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? I identify, that voice can be the voice of the enemy. That voice can be, a voice that's showing up for you because of trauma from your past. And it's trying to, make you believe a message that you believed in your past, but that's old, you know what I'm saying? And you Genevieve right now, what they talking about Genevieve back then?
Yeah.
It's a lot. So what I got to do is block out those messages, rebuke them in the name of Jesus, okay? But the other things I also do to those messages is take them and replace them with what's true about who I am. Yeah. And a lot of what I speak out when I'm affirming myself to be true, what's true about who I am, is in relationship to God. Because that he's given me the greatest picture of who I truly am. And one of the things I love to tell people about my identity is I'm the beloved. That's why I will say beloved a million times. People be like, oh my gosh, you just say to me over and over. I'm like, yes, because I want you to be convinced that you're the beloved too. No matter what, beloved. You know what I'm saying? No matter whether you are in Christ or you don't believe, you're still the beloved. Whether you are, because it's just about, it's talking about our identity being rooted in God's incredible love for you. And that being maybe like a starting or a primary for your identity house. So if I believe I'm the beloved, then I can also do things as the beloved. Like I can, if I'm not very loved, I probably can't go tell all these people, give them back. And I'm talking about people. So we're talking about smiles and talking, and they might have had a bad day, long day. I'm talking about hundreds of people might come through your thing. You gotta, you can't do that if you don't believe that to be true, So now I'm better equipped to love other people. Now I'm also better equipped to do things. So, and it also relates, there's a fallout, from believing you're the beloved, because a lot of other things that's true about the ones that God loves and who have also said that they love him back is that, I'm more than a conqueror. Okay, so that must be true. So now let me go ahead and activate that belief, and let me partner my faith with that. Let me do something. I say, okay, I'm more than a conqueror. So then 12 pins, one oven, no problem. Like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you have to start, taking that chance, like a leap of faith on the things that you say you believe. So that's actually the difficult part about distractions, is that it exposes, for me, these thoughts expose something that may be painful from my childhood, that may be painful from right now, and the enemy's just trying to distract me. Whichever way it's coming, it's a lie, and it's trying to stop me from my God-given purpose. And we just won't be having none of that. We just won't be having none of that. So I think COVID was really, this year has been, we're still feeling the effects of what this year has done, and we'll be feeling, I believe, for a while. And unfortunately, though, we're going to be healed in Jesus' name. But those feelings are real. So I think there was a lot of other distracting thoughts, and a lot of them happen around ability. not able to, you can't do that, and what if this, what if that, and stuff about who you really are. Like, that's the problem I got. That's the issue I got with like the thoughts and the the things that are trying to claim my identity, is that you are directly opposing my God. My God said I'm this, and you are lying to me, and you are lying on my God. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You are lying to me. You know what I'm saying? So I like to take it back. You know what I'm saying? Everything the devil stole from me, you gotta take it back.
Okay.
You can't keep that. I gotta have that back.
Snatch that right on back.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like that. I spend time affirming what's true, and what does God say is true about me. And I let that be the fertile soil for me to plant myself and be like who I am. That's what I want. That's what I want for my whole life. And I hope we continue practicing doing that until it's done.
We're becoming more of who God says we are, because even if in the moment you might be acting like how the enemy is trying to make you think you are. You might be acting ugly, but your identity is still rooted in who God says that you are.
Right. And who is the enemy to come in and say that your one action is now the sum of, or you're the sum of all of your poor choices or your bad choices? You a lie. You know, so even if it's that, I'm glad you brought that up. It doesn't matter what kind of thing is the distraction. Could be, something you've participated with and it's not the right choice, or maybe a sinful choice, or maybe just a bad, poor choice, whatever it could have been. And, and you participate with it, and that could distract you from what you don't want, that because you don't want the distraction, but beloved, be assured that you are not that, that you are still beloved of God, and that, that your body and your mind, your soul, your whole being was not meant to bear shame. That's why we can't bear it. That's why our bodies weren't created to do it. That's why we should reject it and and live inside of who we really are, truly are.
Absolutely. So final thoughts for the woman, or for the Christian that's there, deciding, I want to use my gifts. Like, I want to walk in my purpose. I want to push distractions away. Like, what affirmation would you leave?
One last thing that I would say to y'all is, don't go at it alone. Don't do it alone. I would say everything's harder to do alone, and we all know that. But we've been created with purpose, and we will live out that purpose within a community. In the community, we need, those people we need, and they need us. We're like all together, and just like the story with Jesus feeding the 5,000, we get to all participate in this incredible, miraculous act. We can do it together, and it's just way better together. So that would be my one note to whoever's starting a business out there or wants to work in their purpose. Ways I don't go at it alone is I ask my friends about their input all the time. Like, before this man came to y'all, I came to a lot of other people and was like, all right, tell me what's really good. I think my Mac is good, but they could tell me anything that, oh, this, that, whatever. And there's people I trust that I can go to. So community you can trust, you can go to is important. Another thing that happens in community is ideas that you haven't thought of. You got that one brain. It's a good one. I like it, beloved. It's a good one. But, there's so many other more, bring that in. There's so many ideas, things you haven't even thought of. So that's another reason. And then the final note on community is I have a Black women's prayer group that meets at my home. We used to do this a couple years ago back here in Brooklyn, a few years ago with some friends. And we started it up, and it literally was like 5 or 6 of us in a room praying in Christmas house. And then it was like 30 of us from other churches, women from all different walks of life and ages and stages of life. It was incredible, and glory be to God. And then some of those people, they moved on, moved to other places. They moved on. They alive. They alive. And living in answered prayers. A lot of them is married with kids and decided they're the answer of all these prayers. But I watch God, week after week, month after month, answer prayers. And now what's happening, and so I've restarted our Black women's prayer group that it's happening in my home now once a month. And it's just 6 of us, but I'm sure it'll be 70 when we're all done and said and done with it. No, but as I think about that, I think about we really need each other. This is beyond what you're gonna do with a business or beyond what you're gonna, what the purpose is to do something. Like you really need that community. So I just think that's so important, and I love having the community. I have some good girlfriends around. I got some good friends around, and that I think helps me do this and all the things that come up out of me, that the Lord wants to do through me and to me. So it has to do with community.
Amen. Pastor Genevieve.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I want to tell you something. This is so fun. I want to tell you something, then I'm done, I promise. But I recently found out about this United Order of Tents. You ever heard of this?
Mm-mm.
So it's a group of Black women who own this house on McDonald Street, which 87 McDonald Street, and they need support financially. So tap in. Black women who, have had this secret society since the 1800s. This house, they've owned it since 1945. But it's been up, I believe, since, it was before that. It was before that. I don't want to mess it up. It's been around for a long, long time. In fact, they used that house as a part of a stop on the Underground Railroad. The house, the women that are there they're all Black women, and they're believers, and they all have been a part of this secret society of believers at that house for years and years and years. They've come to the service because they are about to lose their house, and they want to make sure to let people know, like, you don't want to let this go. This is a legacy that you're going to want to sow into, right? So, but that's why they're so, but with that, they are the oldest Black women's organization in, I think in the world, but I think they said in the U.S., but they may have said in the world. Either way, they're large. The longest standing, oldest Black women's organization. And I think that that's significant. They're believers. They've been holding down the fort here in Bed-Stuy for years and years and years. I did not even know about them, but here I am doing this. I just started up the Black women's prayer group at my house again, and I feel like, cause I don't talk about it on my social media. Nobody knows about this. You now know about this, and all of y'all now know, but nobody knows. Like we've been doing it kind of like a secret society. So it's kind of like a special moment when I found that out. I only say all that to say that community is important. It brings us from our past, our histories, our ancestors thought so, and so do we. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, God says so, our ancestors said so, you know what I'm saying? And so we say so. So that's kind of like sitting in that too. So I just wanted to let you know about that.
Full circle. You brought the whole thing full circle from the way we started the interview with you talking about your own ancestors. And
that did happen.
Full circle.
Okay.
That have poured into you and helped you cultivate your purpose. Now, as we're continuing that, like, we now get to be the people who are cultivating for others and pouring into others, and it's just all full circle. So I thank you for coming to the couch,
thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Encouraging us. We are grateful. And again, where can they get
mac.and.gees? Mac.and.gees. Okay, you want to get mac.and.gees on mac.and.gees.com. That's MACNGEES.com. You could also go to Instagram, same mac.and.gees. Find me on Instagram. There's a form on there where you could tell me your name, tell me your prayer request, and make an order for mac and cheese if you like. And what else should I say? Okay. So every month I highlight a different organization to celebrate and to support, because You know what I'm saying? My Mac has a purpose. You feel me? So, it's a Mac give back. So every month we do that. So just know that the proceeds that you give here, that a portion of that goes towards some important effort that I believe is really important, or if someone's come along and let me know it's really important and we want to support them. So that's all, mac.and.gees. Come and get you some Mac. You know, home is where the Mac is. That's something you need to know. Home is where the Mac is. What else should I say about this Mac?
There's ministry.
I mean, let the Mac minister to you. I don't know where it need to go in there. I don't know. I would say, you know, it gives me joy to make Mac, so I'd love to make it for you. So that's it. I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you again for being here.
Yes.
Thank you all again for watching. I'm so grateful that you spent time with us. Again, I am Lourdes Anita, writer over at LourdesAnita.com, and this has been the Purpose Talks with Lourdes Anita, and we hope to see you on the next one. Remember, you do have a God-given purpose, and absolutely eliminate any distractions that try to get in the way. Love you all.